Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about dungeons, how to find a party, and what to generally think and do in dungeons. So let's go to the dungeon lobby. So right now I am in the dungeon lobby. You can enter the dungeon lobby if you press F8 and click on dungeon. Then you enter this dungeon lobby and I will tell you about everything here that's important for you and maybe in the future as well. You can see a screen with only your own character and you see squares on top of the screen, 5 empty squares if you're alone. This means you can have 6 members maximum in your party to do dungeons together. You have the option to select dungeon here or battleground. Battleground is PvP and is for very high gear people, so I will not talk about that. Dungeon, that's what we are talking about. And then you see party settings. You have easy and hard. So it speaks for itself. Easy mode, well, dungeon is much more easy compared to hard mode, but let's get into that a little bit more. So easy mode won't let you die when you fill a mechanic in dungeons, like you have to CC a boss, otherwise you will wipe. Wiping means that you will all die no matter what, no matter if you use iframe or anything. You just fill the mechanic and all of you will die and you have to do it again. And easy mode is just, it takes a lot of HP off of you, so it does a lot of damage, but you will still survive, meaning you won't have to do any mechanics to kill a boss. Unless you do higher level dungeons, then there might be some mechanics you might have to do, but most dungeons don't care about that. Dungeons of Fury and up, you have to do some mechanic, but in hard mode it's much harder. You need to do all mechanics, otherwise you will just die. If you want to do dungeon as a new player, so you just reached level 60, I think you are HM12 or HM11, something like that, and you want to play dungeons, don't just go in and play the high level dungeons, because you will not get through the dungeon whatsoever, because it's too hard. You lack AP, so the damage will be very low and you probably will not survive in general, because it's just too hard for the gear you have at that moment. First thing that I would do is press on Ctrl J when you're in the server, so not in the dungeon lobby, just in the normal server, and then you can see where you are with your gear. I talked about that in another video before, so I highly recommend you to watch the first video I made on my guide. I will make a new playlist where you can find it, so it should be relatively easy. Anyways, what I would recommend you to do as a newer player, go to the lower section of the dungeons, not all the way down, because from Background Narrows up to Abendrock's Lair, they are kind of outdated and it's not likely that you find any party to play with. From Heaven's Mandate and up, you will find parties, definitely, and you can find parties in 2 ways, at least here. That is mainly the recruit party members. As you can see here on the left, you can see people recruiting, looking for parties. And in purple you will see the dungeon, and then you see here to the left what mode it is. This is easy mode, and it is daily, as somebody said. It's a daily run. Okay. If there is 2k plus, for example, like there, it means your AP has to be 2k. So right now click on your own character and click on character info to see that. Here you can see I have not got 2k AP, aka attack power, so I cannot play with them because they ask for that specifically, and I would recommend you not to join if you don't have the AP they ask for. Even though it may be an absurd number for a very low dungeon, don't join because they will be assholes, trust me. If you want to join a party here, which you can find here on the left, you can just click on the dungeon/battleground number lobby. You can press on it and you can just join by confirming it. I won't confirm because I don't want to play right now, but if you are looking for a party yourself, what you have to do first is look for what dungeon you want to play. Let's say I want to play Desolate Tomb. Here you have to select what party modes you want to play. Is it battleground, is it a dungeon hard mode, or a dungeon easy mode? And you can see I play on easy mode, so I press easy. Then here you have to select which dungeon it is. It is all the way down here, Desolate Tomb. And then here you can type something, a requirement. For me, I will write just 99k. That's a retarded kind of number. You don't have to press anything here unless you want to join or just want to look for a party. Here you can specify what kind of members you want, like you want a party buffer or you want a tank or something, and you ask for certain AP, then they can find it here and can join. If you press LFP looking for party, you just end up with people randomly. People who have pressed LFP will join your lobby. You have more control with recruiting rather than LFP. So I would highly recommend you to recruit, or if you are doing some higher dungeons. Another thing that's important before you do a dungeon, if you want to have a good and smooth run, you want to know the mechanics. And if you never have played Blade and Soul dungeons yet, I recommend you to look up the dungeon you want to play, search videos on YouTube, see how the mechanics work and how the dungeon is a little bit, so you know what you can expect and what you need to do. Now that I explained all of this, you can also press on enter dungeon if you have assembled a party. If everybody has readied, because everybody needs to be ready, then you can press enter dungeon or LFP. If you think your party is good enough to go, you can just enter the dungeon. So this is the dungeon lobby you go to once you press enter dungeon. If you go through the portal here, you enter the actual dungeon and you start playing with it. Here you can just go to the vault if you want to, if you need to change anything or just put it somewhere. You can put it there. There's a general merchant if you need items to repair your weapon, for example, to heal up. Revival charms, incendiary charms and keys, which are useful, and here you can repair your weapon. Usually you can walk up to the NPCs right next to the dungeon, talk to them, accept the quest, and then go to the dungeon. So we are in dungeon, and as you can see, here's a minimap of the dungeon, and you can see the path you have to walk to get to the end. Usually you can see this mark, daily mark. You need to accept the quest before you enter the dungeon to see it. And you need to talk to the NPC or kill the boss, which is marked here. Otherwise you will not be able to finish the daily quest. So make sure you wait for each other before you do anything. So let's say your party is not strong enough or just lacks the skill, and you are just with the 3 of you. And you think, oh shit, we cannot finish this with just the 3 of us. We need more people. No worries, you can recruit. I would recommend you to recruit before you do the first boss though, because else people will not stay in your party and will get angry with you, because they will not be able to finish the quest. So keep that in mind, make an assessment before you start the dungeon. So usually it's better to play with 6 people rather than go in with less and then realize you need more people to actually finish it. Otherwise you have to redo it entirely with a full party or recruit and just hope for somebody to join. What you have to do is you can hold Alt or press caps lock, and you can press on recruit party members on the left top corner of your party. If you press on that, you can see I'm recruiting right now. Let's say you're recruiting for a while and you've already killed the first boss, and somebody who will join will not be able to actually finish the quest. You can just press on the same button again to stop recruiting, to make sure people will not join. It's also nice to be in the clan before you actually go and do dungeons, because it's much easier to find a party, because you can just ask people in the clan to join you and help you out or play with you. And if you have friends in the game, that's perfectly fine, because you can play with them and that would be fun. So I hope you liked the video and it helped you out a little bit to get more into doing dungeons in Blade and Soul, as it's a really fun experience to do if you just try and actually figure out how to do stuff. That's what I really like to do. I like just going to dungeons blind with some friends and just figuring out mechanics before I do it for real. It's a real fun experience to do, and I recommend you to do it as well if you feel up to it. If you just want to do dungeons with people, randoms, then I do recommend you to watch videos, do them, and enjoy playing them. I hope you learned something in this video, and like this video if you did, subscribe to my channel, feel free to join my Discord server as well. The links are down below for all my social media, and without further ado, see you later. Peace.